Last month drained me. You're getting opinion slop, and you're gonna like it. Okay, in a more serious sense, I actually do have a bit to say about Gen 4. I know, like, looking back on it, it's not the most balanced game. There's not enough fire types. The map is just kind of whatever. You just have to know to get fly if you want to get anywhere, like, relatively reasonably. Sure. But man, like, I mentioned, like, last time that I did one of these, that Gen 3 was my first time playing a Pokemon game. So Gen 4 is my first new Pokemon game. To me, that is the equivalent of gold and silver for anyone else who cares. Which, you know, fitting what would come after Diamond and Pearl, but I digress. There are some things about the games that I also do like. I'm very biased towards Cynthia because I think she's really cool. I think that a lot of setting up the whole mythos of, like, you know, the gods of space, time, and just, I guess, also literally God is just, like, really cool. I like how they had the one statue that if you look at it one way it could look like Dialga, but another way it could look like Palkia, so it could work in either version of the game. Didn't really translate all that well to 3D, but, you know, what can you do? More or less, I have fond memories of Gen 4, and no adult critique could ever take that away from me. That being said, let's actually get to what you're actually here for, my opinion on all the Pokemon. So, the starters. Turtwig, Chimchar, and Piplup. I'm very mixed on this lineup. On the one hand, they are neat, but on the other hand, man, so many other generations have such cooler starters. Although, I guess to be fair, maybe, like, at the time, they were probably, like, some of the coolest. I mean, Gen 3 is, like, a classic trio, and Gen 1 is Gen 1. But, like, I don't know, man. In the grand scheme of things, looking back at Gen 4 and their starter lineup, I can't help but think that while they're neat, the only thing that sets them apart is their unique typing compared to the rest of the game. I'm pretty sure, like, there's still not many grass ground types. The only other ones I could think of is, like, the Toedscruel line, and I don't think we have another water steel. And of course, as we all know, firefighting is the most original type combination you could ever conceive of. There's only 3 lines in the game that have it. And at this point, only 2. But, you know, as they are, I think they are fine. I actually don't have anything negative to say about them, aside from Infernape. That I feel like that is the most overhyped fucking thing in all of Pokemon. It is not that cool. I don't care that it's Goku. I don't give a shit about Goku. Get your head out of your ass and realize it's just kind of... like, it's neat, but the design is mid. I'm sorry. Compared to the other 2 starters, it's mid. It's mid. Suck my dick. Yeah, Turtwig's cute. I like the gimmick of it going from, like, a twig to a bush to a tree. Like, that's kind of neat. Yeah, with Grotle and Torterra. Chimchar, again, it's like... it has, like, a similar gimmick to Charmander where it just has a flame on the end of its body. But this one goes out when it sleeps, so it's not like... you know, if it goes out, it dies. It's just, you know, constantly farting. Like, that's true. Look it up. And, you know, Monferno's kind of neat. I like it as a middle stage. It's probably, like, one of the better middle stage starter mons out there. And then Infernape. I already gave my opinion on Infernape. I'm not repeating myself. Piplup's cute. I really liked it in the anime back when I watched it. I kind of stopped sometime around Gen 4, but, like, I wasn't really that consistent with it anyway. I don't know, I just kind of felt like, wow, this feels like dumbed down shit at this point. Like, I just, like, kind of I feel like it was like, you know, products that feel like they're made for kids even though they're like meant for all ages. It felt like they were talking down to their audience in a sense. Prim Plup is the most filler fucking we need a middle stage thing ever until like Pomo exists. And then Empoleon's pretty cool. I like Empoleon. Again, I'm pretty sure the only water seal type. I like the personality they gave it in Pokken Tournament. That one was cool. So out of the three, what do I choose? I picked Piplup because I was watching the anime at the time, and nowadays, I guess I could go back and forth between it and Torterra. I guess if I had to be objective, I think Torterra is just probably the better design, but I think I prefer playing with Empoleon because it got Shadow Claw, and Shadow Claw was like my favorite move at the time as well, so I was very biased. Yeah, I'm Team Empoleon, but like if you pick Torterra, it's so close to it in like the scaling, in my opinion, that I'm just like, yeah, like that's a valid choice. If you pick Infernape, you're a normie. You're more of a normie than a guy that likes Charizard, and I say that as a guy that likes Charizard. All right, I'm sorry, thing fucking sucks. All right, moving on from the starters. Starly, Staravia, Staraptor. I love this line, dude. Like, Starly is so cute. Staravia is the middle stage, and then Staraptor's so fucking cool, dude. He's so cool. I love him. I love him so much. The fact that he got a Mega in ZA made me so happy because, like, oh, he's finally a fighting type. He always felt like he could be. Yeah, probably the single best Route 1 bird Pokemon in the entire series. I know that's saying something when, like, Corviknight exists and even, like, Toucannon if you want to go there. Like, not competitively, but just, like, in a design sense. But I stand by, like Staraptor just is special to me in the fact that it's just so cool. And I like it. Yeah. Bidoof. Alright, man. I feel like other people enjoy this guy more than me. Like, I don't know. He's silly, he's funny, but like... he kind of goes in one ear out the other for me. That's just kind of how I feel. Pokemon number 400, B-Barrel. We are almost halfway through the entire National Dex. But, yeah, B-Barrel. I'm pretty sure also, speaking of unique typings, the only water normal type. Correct me if I'm wrong about this. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Again, I don't have anything else to say about it. It's a unique typing, but, like, it's whatever. Okay. Kricketot and Kricketune. Can I get a da-da-da-da whoop in the chat, please? Thank you. I say the chat like I'm streaming this. Put it in the comment section. Alright? Yeah, just comment that. Sure. But yeah, it's neat bugs. I like the design of them, but they are what they say on the tin. They are Route 1 bugs and nothing more. They're cool, I guess. They have memorability to them. Shinx, I fucking love Shinx, dude. He's so cute. He's so cute. Oh my god, I love him so much. Luxio, like, I feel like, yes, it is another example of a filler middle stage, but I feel like it's in the same vein as, like, Monferno. Like, I don't like Infernape, but at least, like, Monferno actually looks decent. Luxio is in the same vein as that, except I also really love Luxray. I know everyone's like, it shouldn't be a dark type because it wouldn't make sense. It only make like I get like aesthetically and all that, like why it is not a dark type, but that won't stop me from yearning. Anyway, he's really cool. I like him a lot. I wish he was better. Okay, I was wondering when we would get to this. We gotta talk about all the babies in Evos. All the Prevos and Evos. We got Badoo and Roserade. So, Gen 4's gimmick, like Gen 3 was like, double battles. Gen 2 was, like eggs and shinies. This one is Evos and Prevos of Pokemon from, like, the previous games, because they were under the interpretation this is probably going to be, like, one of the last ones they do, which, yeah, look how well that turned out. But just the idea of, like, giving, like, filling out lines that really didn't need a lot of filling out. I guess in the case of Roselia, you could make an argument that it is better off having the evolution, even though it's, like, still not all that good. And Badoo is cute, I guess. I don't have much to say about it. Like, a lot of the cries in Gen 4 are, like, burned in my brain, and I do like the Badoo cry. And Roserade is really cool. I do like Roserade, and I think it is a fitting evolution for Roselia. However, as we get further along into the Pokedex, I think it's easy to just make the assumption that the designers just kind of felt like they had to make evolutions, and it just kind of got forced upon them. And so they went, fuck it, just make it bigger. Like, you know what I mean? Like, bro didn't do shit, he just stepped closer to the camera. I guess in this case it would be closer. In the original, I think it's farther. The point being is, like, that's what this feels like. They uglified some of them and just, like, okay, I'm mostly talking about Rhyperior. Like, he is, like, the poster child for that shit, but I'll get to him when I get to him. But a lot of them do feel warranted, I guess. We'll see as we go along. Oh yeah, I forgot the first gym already had the fucking fossils. Cranidos and Rampardos. They're cool. I used to think they were like T-Rexes. Turns out they're not T-Rexes, but they were the closest we had to T-Rexes. So I was very privy towards that one. And I preferred it over Shieldon Bastiodon. But yeah, they got that dynamic of like the unstoppable force versus the immovable object and whatever. It's cute. I do like the dynamic that they have. You know, the battering ram and the wall it goes up against. That being said, they're kind of whatever. They look neat. I feel like Bastiodon is a little strange looking, but like that's just because the dinosaur it's based on is a little strange looking. Rampardos is cool. That's really all I got. I don't know. I don't have much to say about these guys. Okay. Burmy, Wormadam, and Mothim. Okay. So, Burmy getting different coats that don't affect it at all, other than if it turns into Wormadam, what form that takes, is a neat gimmick for a Mon, especially for something like a Bagworm. But that's all I feel, is like, oh, that's kind of neat. Like, what am I supposed to get out of that? I don't really have much opinions on them, like, from a design perspective either. They're just kind of whatever. Mothim especially is just kind of, it's just a moth. I don't know, man. They're just big ass bugs. Like, they're fine. I don't hate them. They just don't excel for me. Speaking of bugs, Combee and Vespiquen. I like them. I think it's very interesting to have, like, a hive mind Pokemon have, like, multiple faces on the same body. And then Vespiquen is really cool. Like, you know, we all used to think it was Vespiquen, because duh. But, you know, like, I do think that Vespiquen is a really sick design. I like that it's, like, female exclusive, so it's a little tricky to get. Even if it's not all that good, I do like it. Design-wise. Please, all you competitive fucking assholes, like, let me enjoy things. Speaking of competitive assholes, Pachirisu. Okay, so before that happened, I was always of the opinion that Pachirisu was cute, and I liked it. It was cool. I thought it was neat to have an electric Pokemon, especially like one that's reminiscent of like, you know, the Pika clones. Like this is the Pika clone of the region. To have like blue electricity, I thought that was neat. I thought that made it stand out a bit. Making it a squirrel was also another way to really like shake things up a bit, and like, you know, not just like another mouse or something. But then that happened. You know what I'm talking about. The Draco Meteor. It has garnered a bit of a reputation, and honestly deserved. Like, if anyone were to earn it, it would be something like Pachirisu. And I'm happy for him. That's awesome. Right. Weasel, Floatzel. Weasel's cute. Floatzel's fugly. I don't know what they were doing with Floatzel. I get, you know, like, they gotta, like, give it an evolution, and it's a fitting evolution. I just don't fuck with it. Like, it's whatever. I prefer Weasel. He's cute like that. Oh my god, speaking of gimmicks... Bro, I'm not even, like, halfway through this list, and we've gone through so many fucking gimmicks already. Like, come on! Okay. Cherubi. Cherim. Cherubi is an interesting one, because, again, it's another instance of, like, multiple faces on one Pokemon. It's essentially just wheezing at that point, rather than just being a hive mind. Like, it's fine, it's whatever. But then Cherim, it changes its form depending on whether or not the sun is up. And I like the form it has when the sun is up. Otherwise, the form it has is fine. It's so... Like, it's in the same realm as, like, Gossifleur. It's inoffensive, is the best I could say. Like, if it did not have that gimmick, no one would give a shit. I've reached yet another gimmick. Okay. Shallows and Gastrodon. Okay, so they have a pink and blue form depending on where you get them. I think the pink version for both of them is the most iconic. It's the most recognizable. But I also like blue. So I'm very privy to the blue versions. I wonder if we'll get like a Basculegion sort of thing where like we'll get a Shellos in another color instead of Gastrodon, it just turns into something else. Maybe that one specifically gets a third form. Who knows? Either way, they are cool, and I like them. Okay, fine, we're moving on to more shit. Okay, Ambipom. I feel like gets a little too much hate. I don't think it's that fugly. I think it's alright. I like the idea of it just gaining a second hand. Like, it makes sense. If you're gonna give Ambipom an evolution, then yeah, just make it do more of what it was already doing. But it does feel like... I will admit, it does feel like... Well, Ambipom would benefit from an evolution. They still didn't really do enough with it, so it's just kind of like, what the hell? I feel like they burnt themselves out so much trying to force evolutions on older Pokemon so much in this generation that there's a reason they didn't touch on it again until Gen 9, if you don't count Sylveon, but whatever. I don't. Drifloon and Drifblim. Drifblim, excuse me. I like them. Drifloon is cute. I like Drifloon. I like the gimmick of like, oh, you can only get it on like a Friday or whatever. I've always liked it. I like the idea of like its mouth is like the X that's holding like it together. I hate the 3D model that like makes it like physical so you can actually see its mouth. Like I like it better when it's just like you only see it when it's opening, you know? Like that thing should not have lips, but whatever. But yeah, I think it's neat. I like the idea of just like, you know, wandering spirits and then also wandering balloons, hot air balloons. I think that's a neat idea to like fuse together. Baneri and Lopunny. I always really liked Baneri. It was like one of my favorites of this gen because it's just really, really cute. I like it. Lopunny is okay. I thought it was always okay. I've always preferred Baneri because it's cute. And the less I say about Lopunny, the better, because the last thing I need is for people to get the wrong idea about me. I will say it is exceptionally funny that that was a source of inspiration for a Pokemon, like legitimately. But hey, at least the Mega strayed away from it, I guess. Whatever, man. Alright, now we're really getting into the thick of these goddamn Evos. Miss Magius. I like Miss Magius. I feel like its design is a little clunky, but I do like it. It does feel like a natural, like, continuation of its Prevo. And I am a fan of the idea of it just, like, getting a witch hat. Like, it's a lot more, like, mischievous and evil and less Japanese, I guess. I don't know. But it is a neat design that I fuck with. I am very susceptible to ghost designs anyway, so yeah. Honchkrow. I fucking love Honchkrow, dude. He's so cool. Like, if I had to pick, like, one evolution from all of Gen 4 that, like, feels like it was the perfect sort of evolution to give to an older Pokemon, Honchkrow would be, like, really up there, if not the top. Like, it is just, like, the idea that, like, the Murkrow are just, like, its minions and it's, like, the big boss, like, that feels so right. That just feels so right. And he looks so clean. The hat is a lot slicker. He's got the puffed out chest. He's so sick. I love him so much. Glameow and Purugly. I like the subversion with Purugly about how, like, you know, when Pokemon evolve, they get, like, you know, stronger, but they also get more, like, appealing to look. They look cooler to look at. But, again, it subverts it by, like, being, like, uglier. Like, it's literally got ugly in its name. Like, it does that on purpose. And it makes sense. You know, a spoiled cat just gets, like, lethargic and spoiled and whatever. It makes sense. It's cool. It's cute. It's a nice, again, a nice version. But it's like, that also means you're making your thing ugly, and I'm not a fan of the it's ugly on purpose designs. Like, there are some things where it's like, you know, like, oh, you do, like, this negative thing on purpose. Like, you could make that work. Like, with Incineroar, that worked on me eventually. But, I don't know, Purugly is just whatever. Glameow's fine. It's an inoffensive cat, in my opinion. Okay, now we're just getting strictly into the baby mons. Okay, Chingling. I don't know why they put so many babies in this goddamn game. Probably just so that you can scatter them around in the grass so you can, like, find them without having to breed them. Like, that's neat. But that also involves a lot of friendship evolutions, and I just don't fuck with that. The only time I ever did a friendship evolution, at least when I was a kid, was when I was, funny enough, when I was playing Platinum, and I was struggling against the grass-type gym for a while. And then, like, I kept throwing myself at it, like, hyperdive style, like, so much over and over again, until, like, I was leveling up enough to where my Zubat learned Wing Attack, and then it just absolutely, like, decimated that fucking... Remember, my starter was the water type, so, you know. And so, like, oh, that's awesome. And then when I got to the fighting type gym, it became a Golbat. Like, I'm like, oh, this guy's just on my team now, for right now. Yeah, he became a Golbat in the fighting type gym. And then the immediate next level up, he evolved into Crobat. And I'm like, wow, max friendship already? Like, I had a Crobat on my party for that whole game at that point. And that was sick as fuck. I loved that. Oh, man, it was so cool. That was the only time I ever had, like, a natural, like, friendship evolution on my team like that. It was, like I didn't think it was, like, gonna be that immediate. It was so cool to me. But yeah. Right. Chingling. Friendship evolution. Okay, so the thing with Chingling is it's cute. I like it. It makes sense. It's a bell that evolves into a chime. That's fine. I get why they wanted to, like, as, like, a lot of Prevos as well as a lot of Evos. It makes sense. And even to the point where they have their own original Babymon in this gen. We'll get to him later. But I don't know, man. I think it's really funny that they would sooner reintroduce the baby mechanic before they would with the previous gen Evo mechanic. I call it mechanic, like it's not a design thing. But like, yeah, I think it says a lot when they do that and whatever. I think the idea of like putting a lot of babies in the game is fine. Like, it's not the worst thing ever. It makes it annoying for later games, but they weren't really thinking about that, I don't think. Like, it's fine. Stunky and Skuntank. Funny. I mean, if you're gonna give me like a skunk Pokemon, this feels like the most appropriate way to do it. I feel like Skunktank's Pompadour is a bit much, but I do think it is a funny design. It's a neat design. It literally farts in its cry. It's neat. I like them. Yeah, they're fine. Bronzor Bronzong. I did not know about the myth of the mirror and the bell because I was a child when I played these games, but seeing them as Pokemon is cool. It's neat. I always found like Bronzor to be weirdly cute, and Bronzong, like, he's an interesting guy. I've never been crazy about its design, but seeing how people have been able to make that thing usable is very entertaining to me. So he gets a pass. Okay, another string of babies. Bonsly. Sure. I think the idea of it crying to get rid of excess moisture is like a neat way to like make it a baby without actually giving it the consequences of one. Although it does have a poop hole, so. Mime Jr. I love Mime Jr. Mime Jr. is cute. Like, you get rid of most of the other babies and just leave Mime Jr. and I'll be fine. Actually robbed of a Galarian form, by the way. But that's a story for another time. Happiny. Happini's cute. I like the idea that it needs to be holding like a fake egg. But yeah, it's just kind of whatever. Chatot. I kind of like Chatot. Chatot's neat. I like him. I know Chatot has a bit of a reputation for saying the fuck word, but otherwise, like, I've always really liked him. He's just neat. I like his head is like a music note. He also has like a metronome tail. Like, he feels like a fun design. Like, he feels like a fun design. Speaking of fun design, oh my god, Spiritomb. Come on. Like, nah. There's no debate with this. Spiritomb is just really cool. I feel like they went a little hard with the 108 gimmick, but I understand why they did. They want this thing to be like that kind of Pokemon. Like, it makes sense. Alright, Gibble, Gabite, Garchomp. Yeah, this game lets you get the pseudo pretty early on, so. Yeah. Alright. Gibble, cute. I like him. He's just a head. Gabite, he's kind of cool. I kind of dig him. He's neat. For like a middle stage, he's pretty good. Garchomp. He is admittedly really fucking cool. He is admittedly really fucking cool. I do like Garchomp a lot. He has since like died down in popularity as time has gone on, but he got that new Mega along with his already existing Mega. So resurgence in interest and awareness of him has happened, and yeah, that's yeah, I think he's neat. I think he's really cool. Is he related to Sharpedo? Who knows? Yeah, that's all I really have to say about him. All right, back to baby bullshit. Munchlax. I think giving Snorlax a Prevo makes a lot more sense than giving him an Evo, but you just take two things that he's known for and just give the baby only one of them. And I guess it makes sense. You eat so much, you go into a coma, and then you just still eat some more afterwards. Like, it does make sense. I wonder what the guy it was based on feels about that. But anyway, I do like Munchlax. I think he's a bit strange with the cloth fur around him and the mask-looking face he's got. But like otherwise, he's fine. I think he's really cute. All right, here we go. Riolu. Let's just talk about Riolu first. All right, Riolu. Really cute. I like the idea of it just being like a pure fighting type. Like it doesn't get the steel typing until it evolves. I like the idea that it is the first baby Pokemon to exist at the same time as its Evo. Like that was a neat idea. I like that. I think he's really cute. I like him a lot. Okay, let's talk about Lucario. I like him. He's cool. He's neat. I think he is a design worthy of the reputation and hype that he has received. Do I think he is a little strange in the design for the fact that he's one of those, like, he has a schnauzer but a mouth underneath it. He has like shorts. He just has all this stuff that just makes him kind of strange. Like, yes, he does have all this weird shit. But I'm not gonna lie, he kind of rocks it, like, despite all that. I don't know. There's something in the water with that guy. But yeah, I like him. I think he's fitting for the rep he's got. All right, moving on. I've always hated this name. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure this has like the most syllables out of any name for any Pokemon. Hippopotas? That's like 4 at least. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. Like, that's a fucking mouthful. I don't know why they did that. He's okay. Like that one's okay. Hippowdon is cool. I like Hippowdon. I like the sprite of it just like drowning in its own sand. Like it looks like he's just like kind of tough, really cool. He's got like some neat stuff going on. Skorupi and Drapion. I think they're cool. I think Skorupi is a cute little, like, oh yeah, if you're gonna do a scorpion, that makes sense. I like how it's, you know, it starts out as a bug, but it evolves and it's no longer a bug. It's an ogre. It's evil. Drapion, I mean, it fits the ogre description. I feel like Drapion is one of those what the fuck is this design sort of mon. You know what I'm saying? It feels like one of those Pokemon designs we only ever see like once in a generation, if we're lucky. Or like we're just like, what the fuck is this? Gen 5 has another one that I feel the same way about. Dredagon. And at least with him, it like, you know, it makes sense. It's an intimidating dragon sort of thing. Drapion is just like a, like why is its arms right up to its head? Why is its body so freaking long? Why is it a centaur? Why does it have so many things going on about it? But it's because of all those things that I've kind of fucked with it. Why are its appendages shaped the way it is? Like it's made up of bumps. But I love it because of all that shit. I love him because of how freaky he is. Oh my god, here we go. Krogunk, Toxicroak. Krogunk I've always thought was like really, really cool. Yes, the anime was also like a deciding factor towards my opinion of it. But I don't know, man. I always think it looked really cool. Toxicroak is neat. I think Krogunk is a stronger design, but I do fuck with Toxicroak in a bit. I also have a really annoying story about Toxicroak. I was playing Legends Arceus once. I was in a time-space distortion, and I got bombarded by an overpowered, overleveled, shiny Toxicroak. Just came out of nowhere. He ganged up with me against me with like 2 other guys. I think it was like an Electivire and something else. And I got my ass handed to me. I tried so fucking hard to catch it, but I just couldn't, and it sucks. So yeah, I take it back. Toxic Growth could suck my dick. It sucks. It's the worst design in this entire game. Anyway, yeah. Carnivine. He's okay. They teased him for, like, Winds and Waves. I think he's going to be in that game. If they do something with him, that would be very deserved. Like, honestly. Because on his own, he's just kind of whatever. I hope they do more with him in the future. But as he is now, he's okay. Yes. Finneon and Luminion. The highly questionable, most forgettable Pokemon. Finneon's cute. I've always really liked Finneon. I think it's like one of my favorite fish in the game. It's just so fucking cute. And Luminion is just so pretty, dude. I've always loved this line for how fucking gorgeous they are. And everyone shits on them and like, it's most forgettable. Not to me! Not to me it ain't! Yeah, you goddamn piece of this shit. Y'all don't know, like, it's only the most forgettable to you because you can't be bothered to remember the actual forgettable shit. I could probably talk about half this goddamn list so far as examples, but I digress. Another stray baby, Mantike. Very cute. I like Mantike. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about most of these babies. Like, they're cute, and I like them. Sure. Snover and Abomasnow. I like Snover's cry. That one's a cute one. Wee wee. But I can't implement it right now. But yeah, I like the design of Snover. Abomasnow's all right. It's fine. The idea of taking the abominable snowman and mixing it with like a snow-covered pine tree is a really clever idea. I liked it. Yeah. All right. Weavile. I know I said Honchkrow was like probably like one of, if not the most fitting and deserving evolutions from this gen. Weavile would be a straight up contender for that title because, oh my god, first of all, what an amazing design. What an absolutely phenomenal design. Second of all, yeah, Sneasel really needed that shit. Especially with how good Weavile has like been in like past games as well. Like yeah, honestly, like it and Honchkrow are like some of the best Evos this gen has been able to offer. There are others that I do like, but like these are like probably the most deserving ones. Like they just like are very fitting for being evolutions. Alright, now we got like the string of Evos, if you know what I'm talking about. Magnezone. I like the idea of all the Magnemites and Magneton fusing together because of their intense magnetism to become one big being and they turn into a giant UFO. Like, that's neat! I like that! But it is another example of it's just the thing but bulky looking. It's just the thing but fatter looking. Licky Licky, the same thing. Like, I think some people like don't like it as much. I think it's fine. Like, if you're gonna give Lickitung an evolution, this is very like fitting for it. But it is just the thing but fatter. Rhyperior. Rhydon did not need an evolution. They gave it to him anyway. And like, I guess it has like some niche usage in Gigantamax format. Sorry, Dynamax format technically. But like, I don't know, man. It's just Rhydon, but fatter. It's just bigger, bulkier, like uglier. In this case, at least. I don't really fuck with Rhyperior that much. Like, Licky Licky, I can like tolerate to an extent. I think it's fine for what it is. Rhyperior, why does it have like arm cannons? Like, Magmortar has that, it makes sense. He is a cannon. Like, why does he have this shit on his arms? Like, Gallade has that shit. There's no why does he have rocks that look like a vest? Because you gave him the vest? Why give him a vest in his design? Why make that the idol? Why do that with him? There's so much about Rhyperior that I do not understand why they did it the way that they did it. And it feels like they felt they were forced to do that because Rhyperior was like the first design and they needed to fill out that evolution line for some reason. It feels forced. That's just how I feel about it. Tangrowth. I know a lot of people think of Tangrowth under different context right now because of Pokopia, but that aside, it is just, what if Tangela was bigger? Like, that really is just what it is. And like, now we get to see its legs more properly. Like, no, it just is like a black being underneath it. It's like, oh, we don't know what it looks like underneath. No, like, I think we get a general idea. It's just like some black thing covered in vines. Like, sure. Ruin the magic, I guess. Electivire and Magmortar. I'm going to pair these two together because Pokemon sure loves to do that themselves. Electivire, I think, looks really cool. I don't know if I would say it's a fitting evolution for Electabuzz because they look so drastically different. Like, Elekid looks closer to Electabuzz than Electivire does. But I do really like Electivire. It's one of the cooler designs out of these evolutions, so I'm willing to give it a pass. Magmortar, on the other hand, looks alright, but I think it looks really fucking stupid. It's not as bad as Rhyperior, but I think it's a little clunky of a design, more so than I would care for. It's okay on a good day. I don't know. It's fine. And I get, like, the reason I pair these two together is because I get why they did not give Jinx an Evo. They want to pretend like that Pokemon just does not exist. I get that. And you know what? Deserved. But if you're going to go as far as you did with the baby, it kind of feels a little weird at this point. Like, you could have just given it an Evo and then, like, never acknowledged it again and no one would care. It probably wouldn't even be all that good. Like, hell, if you could do that with fucking Porygon, then what's stopping you with this? Be honest with me. Whatever. That's what I have to say about those guys. Togekiss. I'm of two minds with Togekiss. Like, yes, it is another example of it's the thing again, but bulkier. But this design actually does look good. So, because it looks like a cloud, you know, because it's flying in the clouds. Like, it makes sense, you know, especially considering, like, everything involving it or whatever. And I do like its design. So Togekiss gets a pass from me. Although I do have to acknowledge it is just another, like, example of a bulky design. Mega is in the same tier as Electivire for me, where it's really, really fucking cool. But I don't know if I would have picked it as an evolution for Yanma. Personally speaking. Like, it makes sense, like, technically, and I get why they did it like this, but it just, I don't know, it doesn't feel, like, as natural as it could, to me. I do like it, though, so, again, just like Togekiss, I'm willing to give it a pass. Okay, Leafeon and Glaceon. These are the best pair of evolutions in the game. Like, Gen 1, I don't really care for the evolutions there, although Flareon is very slick and cool, and I like it, like, when it's in a sprite form, at least. Umbreon and Espeon, I really like Umbreon. Umbreon will be, like, one of the undisputed kings in terms of evolution design. And Espeon's alright. Sylveon we'll get to later. I think it's cool, and it's really fitting for the fairy type, but I'm not personally crazy about it, although Trans Rights is epic. Leafeon and Glaceon, though, these are just the best fucking designs Eevee has in relation to it. The fact that Leafeon just looks like a realistic ass leaf is so cool. And then Glaceon is so pretty, dude. Like, I'm one of those, like, Glaceon is my favorite evolution. people out there, because it's just so pretty. It's so cute. I don't give a shit about the shinies. The shinies are fine. They're subtle, but they're good. All right, they're subtle, but they're good. You can have good subtle shiny, even though it doesn't change much. Peach, if it still looks good, it looks good. Yeah, back to regular evolution stuff. Gliscor. Okay, I'll say this. Gliscor is in the same tier as Honchkrow and Weavile as, yeah, this evolution is like one of the most fitting designs they've made for any of these categories so far. Gliscor is a very cool design. I love him so much. The fact that he is as obnoxious in singles as he is very funny to me. He's just cool. I like him. And, like, Gligar needed it, honestly. It feels natural. It functions for, like, the game, and it's just good. It's just, like, no notes. Absolutely stellar. Mamoswine's a bit of a funny one. I love Mamoswine, don't get me wrong. Like, I do really like Mamoswine. I like the idea of having a woolly mammoth Pokemon, just flat out straight up as a woolly mammoth. But at the same time, like, does this feel all that natural from Piloswine? I think I just kind of realized you can technically stipulate that Gen 8 is when they added evolutions back because of Ursaluna and like the stuff from Legends Arceus and whatever. But it's like, I don't know, 8.5. Can we go there? Is that fine? Whatever. Yeah, the thing with Mamoswine, it doesn't feel like a Piloswine evolution like all that. Like, Swine Up to Piloswine feels natural. Like, it's just bigger, it's taller. Like, it's not a pygmy anymore. This one, it's like, what if it got a haircut over its face and increase in the x-axis instead of the y-axis? Like, it's fine. Like, I do like it. It's cool. It doesn't feel like that natural of an evolution as it could have been. But whatever. Porygon Z is a funny ass thing. I feel like when it came to the Porygon line, like giving it more evolutions, they had like a lot of free reign to do whatever they really wanted with it, considering it is a creature that is made of literal data. Like, it is just a computer program made manifest. And there is admittedly a lot that could be done with that. Obviously for Porygon 2, it's just, you know, it upgraded, it became like a lot smoother. It's just a better version of Porygon. But Porygon Z kind of pulls a Scizor where it kind of flips it on its head, where instead of being more defensive focus, it's more offensive focus. And that's because of the idea of the Mon, instead of upgrading further, gets corrupted by a virus, so everything it typically does or knows is completely like flipped on its head. That's a really neat idea, although I really feel for the creature. I'm sure he's fine, but man, like, I can't help but think, like, you look like you're in pain. You know, you ever see like those those cats or dogs that have like some sort of special condition where like they're not in pain, but they look like they're kind of upset. Like they look like they have something that they would be upset about, but because that's all they know, they actually don't really get upset about it. That's kind of how I feel about Porygon Z. It's just like, I'm glad you're fine, but man, do I feel guilty. I guess in a sense, like, if you want to talk about competitive shit, like, Porygon Z is also a necessary evolution for the fact that Porygon 2 is as good as it is. Rip it in Champions, though. But yeah, that aside, I do really like Porygon Z. Porygon Z is a really cool-ass design, really cool-ass concept. Yeah, I fuck with it. Like, the Z being like a corrupted-looking 2, and it rhymes with 3, so it's just kind of like, it can't make up whether or not it's still 2. The fact that it's like, It remixed its body to where it's like unrecognizable, but you can still tell where each part originally was. Like its hands were originally its legs. Like it's literally gone topsy-turvy. Like its horn on its head is what its neck was. Like it really feels corrupting. Something topical digital circus reference or something. I don't know. But yeah, I'll fuck with Porygon Z. Okay. Gallade. This is a unique situation that I find myself in, because this is not it's the Pokemon gets bigger sort of Evo. This is a split evolution. And I feel that if they were to do anything with a split Evo off of Kirlia, this is one of the most interesting ways to go about it, because Kirlia is like, obviously, like the whole Gardevoir line up to this point was very femme-coded, but you could always get a male version of it. And in fact, despite it being like femme-coded in its design, its inspirations and mannerisms actually tend to be that of some certain male tropes, which is interesting. So the idea that a male-exclusive Kirlia line could theoretically turn into a Gallade is also kind of neat. So I think this is one of those designs that I think is worth having around, especially considering what we get out of the future paradoxes. We'll get to that one later. I have a lot to say about that, and they're all very positive. But yeah, Gallade's a good one. I like the extending elbow blades. Like that's kind of neat, I guess. Probopass is a funny one. I would chalk it up to being another example of just not a fitting evolution. But in this case, I actually do feel like it is a fitting evolution. I feel like in like the case of this one in Mamoswine, it really is just the eyes that throw me off. But the fact that they take, you know, a compass combined with an Eastern Island head and give it like the hat, and then make it like, give it like three other noses to fill out the compass, as well as magnetic shavings to give it a mustache to justify the steel typing, I think is really funny. Also, the fact that it just blatantly looks like Mario is especially funny. It's shiny should have given it a green hat, but, you know, what can you do? So yeah, though it looks a little weird, Probopass gets a pass from me. Fitting enough. Okay, Dusk Noir. I mentioned in my Gen 3 video how much I love Duskull, and I don't care for Dusclops. I will say, Dusk Noir is a better design than Dusclops. And I do feel like it is a very fitting evolution. You know, they keep with the one eye motif, and it's like a Grim Reaper sort of thing. It and Probopass are admittedly like another example of it's just bulkier looking. But I don't know, at least in this case they actually gave the line a good design to end off with. You know what I'm saying? And Dusclops can use Eviolite, which is cool, I guess. Whatever. I like it. I think it's good. Also, shout out to Explorers of Frostlass. I've always really liked Frostlass, man. Like, you want to talk about like weird designs with like arms on your head? Like, what's up with that? Now, it's another split Evo similar to Gallade. This time off of Snow Runs, and this one's female exclusive. I do think that giving Glalie a counterpart like this is interesting. Like, Glalie already didn't feel like it was meant to evolve from Snowrun, but, like, making a female exclusive counterpart to it, Frostlass fits the bill pretty well. So, I can't really be all that mad, especially with the Yuki Ono influences and whatever. Also, shout out to that new Mega it got. Like, it was just revealed like it's snow warning. That's fucking awesome. It looks more like a Gigantamax form, but I'll save that for when I get to talking about Gen 9 designs. Okay. Rotom. Rotom is... Okay, I really like Rotom. But Rotom is also a very complicated thing to discuss because it has many different forms. I might as well go through all those forms. We have the like basic form. the most simple form. I think it looks really neat. I like it. It's cool. I think having an electric ghost type is a neat idea, even though it's objectively like the worst of its variants. Fan Rotom is interesting. Like, it's funny that it gets levitate still, whatever. Like, it's like semantics. I do think it's neat. Like, its wind arms are neat. Refrigerator or freezer Rotom? Yeah, Frost Rotom, excuse me. Frost Rotom is probably my least favorite form out of all of them, honestly. It's just a fridge. I don't care, man. It's whatever. Heat Rotom is neat. I like the hands it has are like oven mitt shaped. Like, that's kind of cute. Out of the appliances, it's probably like maybe my second favorite. Again, out of the appliances. Mo Rotom, he's funny. He's kind of whatever, though. Like, he's funny looking, but that's all I feel about him. Wash Rotom is my favorite, though. Wash Rotom, like, looks the most interesting with, like, the weird hand sort of thing it's got on one side and the tube it's got on the other. Like, it's got a nice asymmetric sort of design going for it. And from what I understand, it's the most competitively viable out of them, too, so that's neat. I guess I should also mention DJ Rotom in Pokopia, given that, like, it also having the normal type means that it's likely to show up in later games. We don't know, but it's cool, I guess. I don't really have much to say about it. Like, if it doesn't get Boom Burst, then they're cowards. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the Rotoms. Another neat gimmick, one that I think it, I think the over-reliance on Rotom for the technology in the Pokemon universe at this point is a bit much. Like, the Rotom Dex was one thing, but the moment we get the Galar and they got them in their goddamn smartphones and the fucking PCs and the fucking bicycles, like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Like, obviously these Rotoms will be doing this willingly, but do we really need Rotom specifically for all this shit? The phones I kind of get, at least. Like, they get the chance to act sentient and on their own, so, like, it's warranted, I guess. Okay. Now on to legendaries. Uxie, Mesprit, and Azelf. The 3 Lake Guardians. Spirits and whatever. Why did you not make them fairy types? I get that they're legendaries, so it's a little weird, but, like, come on, man. They should be fairy types. Let's be real here. I'll go at them one at a time. Like, I do like all of them. But Uxie, design-wise, is probably, like, my least favorite. This is kind of strange looking. I get why it looks like that. It's meant to be, like, the wisdom one, so it just looks like it has a big head or whatever. Like, it just looks like it's contemplative. Like, it's neat. I like it. But it's definitely, like, the least appealing to me. Mesprit is the one that's, like, meant to be, like, closer related to the player character of the original games. Like, it's all about emotions and stuff, and that's neat and all, and I like it, but I'm more of an Azelf person myself. I think it just looks really cool. What can I say? Blue's an awesome color. That's probably why I also like Wash Rotom more, but that, whatever. But yeah, the like, Azelf being about will, like that's neat and all. I just think it just looks cooler. Like, it just looks neater. I don't know. I think Mesprit is just a little too, like, I think it's a little too elegant. Does that make sense? I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. Alright, box art legendary time. Dialga and Palkia. I'm just flat out say it, man. Dialga is just the better of the two. Like, he just looks cooler. He has a cooler type. Diamonds are cooler than pearls. Like, objectively. Not really. But, like, he's just cooler looking. I like him. I like the concept of, like, he screams so loud, like, it disrupts time itself. Like, it's so crazy. Like, yes, manipulating space is cool and all that, but, like, I don't know. I've always just kind of fucked with Dialga a bit more. After that is, oh my god, Heatran. Oh my god, dude. Like, Heatran is the most, where the fuck did this legendary come from sort of legendary in out of all the legendary Pokemon. But I'm also of the opinion of, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. He looks so fucking cool. He's so fucking awesome. I don't know why there are so many goddamn steel types in Gen 4 specifically. You got this, Lucario, Dialga, like, Empoleon. Like, there's so many fucking steel types. Probopass. Like, so many Pokemon that just get steel type applied to them. Like, is this the curse of Jirachi? Like, fuck! Like, I don't know. But, like, I don't care. Like, Heatran's awesome. And if you say anything different from that about Heatran, you're on my shit list and you can burn in the same hell that he lives in so he can stomp on you whenever he's walking around. On another note, Regigigas. He's okay. I feel like any appeal he does have kind of gets drowned out by the slow start shit. Like, not even just from a competitive standpoint. It's just lame from a gameplay perspective. Like, oh, I have to wait 5 turns to be able to use this guy. Like, I get the gimmick, but it's a lame gimmick and it's not fun. He's cool though. I do like how he looks. Okay. Giratina. So Giratina has 2 forms. You got the I guess like Dialga, Palkia also got origin forms. I don't know if I should save that for Gen 8 or not. I might, just in case I forget. They look interesting. Dialga looks really weird. Like, the only time I will ever take Palkia over Dialga is specifically with the origin form. At least he looks like a cool-ass Trojan horse. But, whatever. And the concept of them trying to get closer to God, aka Arceus, is also kind of neat. But anyway, yeah, Giratina. It's got its origin form and its, what is it, restricted form? Restrained form? Altered form, excuse me. I kind of feel similarly about both forms because they look so similar. Although I think it's fair to say the origin form is a lot more interesting and cooler looking. The idea of having, like, maybe not literally Satan, but a Lucifer equivalent in the Pokemon mythos is fascinating. And I do enjoy his design a lot. Like, it's very neat. I think what they're able to do with Giratina in a lot of different forms, like they had the movie, they had what they did with him in Legends Arceus, they did whatever the fuck they did with him in TCG Pocket. But I think with what we have with him, it is cool. And I like him. And I like what they do with him. Cresselia. Darkrai's not till later in the decks. But Cresselia is neat. I know it's a very, like, heavily used competitive mon, at least back in the day. I'm not getting into that right now. What I will say about Cresselia is I think its design is fine, but it really just feels like a bunch of shapes and nothing but. I wish that it was able to, like, move better. Like, I wish it had, like, some way of, like, being able to, like, be more than just, like a stationary thing made of multiple crescents that floats in the air. Like, that's neat and all for, like, what they're going for with its, like, design inspiration, but it's just kind of like, I don't know, man. It's whatever. Okay, Fione. Okay, I'm gonna briefly touch on Fione because, well, yes, it is a Pokemon that is weird that it exists in the way that it does. I think it's a cute design, and I think the fact that it does exist is not a waste of a slot, but an interesting inclusion. I think it's cute and inoffensive. I think it's another overhated mon. I like it. Okay, but let's actually talk about what you want to hear. Manaphy. Manaphy's so fucking cute, dude. It's been forever since I saw its movie, but man, that was a fun one. Yeah, Manaphy's cute. I don't really have much to say about Manaphy. It's just a little cutie patootie that just like exists, and I'm glad that it does. Shout out to Pokemon Rangers, by the way. Dope ass games. All right, 3 left. Darkrai. Darkrai is one of the coolest fucking Pokemon that they've ever made. I remember when I was younger, I had like a headcanon OC called Lightrai, where it was just like Darkrai but inverted colors. Like it was just white instead of black, and it was like it had blue eyes instead of red. I know that's not actual inversion. It might be. I actually don't know. But it was blue where it was red. It was red where it was blue. I think actually does it have blue eyes? I forget. It's been for fucking ever, man. It was like I was a child. I have a lot of fondness for Darkrai just because it is a Pokemon that on the surface level you would think has malicious intent, but it's really just like it exists and it can't help who it is, and like being able to move past that prejudice with Darkrai is a big thing in terms of like understanding the design philosophy of the Pokemon. Because yes, it does give people bad dreams, but I don't think it wants to hurt people. It's just what it does. And it can't really help that. But it's also sick as fuck. I have opinions on what they did with it in Legends ZA, but I will save that for the Gen 9 video whenever I get to that. Shaman! I really don't care about Shaman. It has 2 forms. The Hedgehog form is whatever. It's fine. It's inoffensive. The Sky form is a little neater. Like, I kind of like it. But again, like, I don't care. If you're gonna... Why does this game have so many mythicals, right? So, like, first of all, why does it have so many legendaries? If we're gonna count mythicals as legendaries, like Gen 4 has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 different legendaries in one generation. And of those, the mythicals are just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5! There's 5 mythicals! Like... And at least with like stuff like Heatran where like there's no reason for it to exist, like you could just give it like the same like legendary bird treatment of, oh, it's just a strong thing that exists. And it is based on something rather than just like be random fucking elemental birds. But like, I don't know, man. I don't hate any of these designs, but Shaman is like one where I'm like, why do we have this? For the movie? I don't know, man. Shaman, I could take it or leave it. I'm probably gonna get some like death threats for that, but like I don't care. And finally, oh my god, I've been here for like an hour. Finally, we have Arceus or Arceus. I'm not getting into the pronunciation bullshit. Technically, it has another gimmick. Type is based on the item you let it hold. I think for a creator god Pokemon, it is probably the best and most fitting that they could do. I know there are a lot of mythos in Pokemon that tend to contradict each other a bit, but in terms of representing like the concept of a god, Arceus is a fitting design for that. And its gimmick of being able to be every type whenever it wants is also very fitting. The way they handled it was a little clunky, but it's probably the most balanced way they could have done it anyway. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Gen 4 and all its respective Pokemon. Feel free to agree or disagree with me in the comments. Do whatever you want. Did you know handsome people subscribe? Also beautiful people too. They tend to do that a lot. That's really cool of them, isn't it? If you're curious about my other opinions on Pokemon, I have past videos about that. I'm essentially making this a yearly thing when I get burned out of making other videos. Is literally the 26th as I'm filming this. I really took a long ass break, and I just kind of looked at the date and I'm like, oh god, I need a video this month. So there you go. That has been me, and I will see you next time. Stay autistic. Why the fuck did I say that?